What if I told you the very habit you believe protects you is actually the one chaining you to a life of unrealized potential, yet you remain blissfully unaware? Pause. It sounds paradoxical, almost impossible. We all seek safety, familiarity, and ease. Yet there exists a silent saboteur lurking in those comforting routines, whispering lies that keep you rooted in place. What could this covert villain be? It's neither procrastination, nor indecision, nor fear itself. No, it's something far more insidious because it masquerades as virtue, cloaked in the language of self-care and well-being. Can you name it? Think of the countless times you've clung to what's familiar, convinced that staying will be comfortable and equates to being smart. But comfort, when overvalued, becomes a gilded cage. It convinces you that growth is optional, that exploration is reckless, and that anything beyond your comfort zone is too dangerous to attempt. By the end of this video, you'll not only identify this hidden antagonist, but also see exactly how it's wrecking your career, relationships, and inner fulfillment without you ever noticing its steady erosion. Picture this. You wake up tomorrow and realize that for the past 5 years, you've been stuck in neutral. No promotions at work, no new skills acquired, no deeper connections formed, no daring adventures undertaken. You have exactly the same friends, the same routines, the same regrets. Your bank balance barely budged. Your dreams gathered dust. And yet, you can't explain why. Here's the truth. The most dangerous habit in your life is addiction to comfort. It's the whisper in your ear that says, "You'll do it next week." It's the internal alarm that signals, "Warning, growth upcoming." So you hit snooze from. It's the voice that convinces you that safety and predictability are always more valuable than challenge and uncertainty. But let me ask you, when was the last time you felt truly alive? When was the last time you said yes to something that set your heart racing with both fear and thrill? If that moment feels distant, it's not because life passed you by. It's because comfort did. Today, we expose how the comfort habit stealthily undermines your ambitions, robs you of your competitive edge, and hollows out your inner life. And we'll give you an actionable blueprint to break free, because once you see the cage, you can choose to escape. We are all conditioned to prize comfort. From childhood onward, we're taught to avoid pain, seek approval, and maintain equilibrium. Society rewards stability, a steady job, a predictable commute, a consistent paycheck. Your peers praise you when you play it safe. Your family congratulates you when you keep things under control. Over time, this conditioning cements into habit so deeply that you don't realize comfort has become your default currency. John Maxwell, the renowned leadership expert, insists, growth is the great separator between those who succeed and those who don't. And growth, by its very nature, is uncomfortable. It demands risk, vulnerability, and confronting the unknown. Yet we resist because the human brain is wired to avoid discomfort. It sees uncertainty as threat, not opportunity. This is why the habit of prioritizing comfort over challenge is so lethal. It feels virtuous, yet is corrosive. It masquerades as self-care, but functions as self-sabotage. In every aspect of life, career, relationships, health, personal development, comfort addiction erects invisible barriers you never even saw. In the next sections, we'll trace how this habit takes root, examine real-world examples of its damage, and then equip you with proven strategies to cultivate a bias for discomfort, turning what once held you back into the engine of your success. Visualize a mighty river winding its way to the ocean. Along the banks, soft reeds and cattails sway passively in the current, each rooted firmly in place. They face no resistance, endure no struggle, yet they never journey anywhere. Meanwhile, the river flows relentlessly, overcoming rapids, carving canyons, and adapting its course to surmount the toughest obstacles. Which one embodies life's true purpose? Let me tell you about Sarah. For 10 years, she worked as a graphic designer for a small print shop, crafting brochures and flyers. Every January, she vowed, "This year, I'll learn UI, UX design." Every February, the spreadsheets and order tickets swallowed her time. By December, she'd convinced herself she lacked the time and energy to learn new skills. Meanwhile, industry trends shifted. Clients demanded interactive prototypes and digital experiences. Job listings for motion graphics and product design exploded. Sarah watched her peers jump on those opportunities, their portfolios bursting with fresh, in-demand skills. And with each missed chance, her confidence waned. When she finally enrolled in an online UX bootcamp, she discovered she'd been left miles behind. The basics felt alien, the vocabulary unfamiliar. Her next month had become a year, then two, then a decade. The comfort of her print design routine had cost her professional relevance, a loftier salary, and most importantly, belief in her own potential. Just like the reeds, Sarah clung to safety, only to find that she'd never reach the river's flow. The result? A profound sense of regret, a shrinking domain of choices, and the urgent scramble to catch up. Take a moment to reflect. What routines do you cling to because they feel safe, even though they no longer serve you? When was the last time you chose predictability over possibility? How many times have you silenced that inner voice, urging you to stretch, learn, or venture into the unknown? John Maxwell's insight remains key. You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. Your destiny is shaped by the small, repeated choices. Your morning habits, your habitual responses to challenges, your threshold for discomfort. Comfort addiction operates on autopilot. It convinces you that good enough truly is enough. It recasts risk as reckless and exploration as frivolous. It rewires your neural pathways to favor the familiar. Over weeks, months, and years, these tiny concessions accumulate into a fortress of stagnation. But awareness alone isn't enough. You must actively unlock the chains. Here's how. First, commit to identifying comfort traps in your life. List the areas where fear of discomfort has held you hostage, whether it's in your career, your health, your relationships, or your personal growth. Then challenge each item by asking, what's the worst that could happen? More often than not, you'll discover that the perceived risk is far smaller than the pain of regret you'll feel later. This reframing is powerful. It exposes the lie comfort tells you, that safety now outweighs opportunity later. Once the illusion shatters, you can begin to dissolve the fortress brick by brick. Now that you recognize the insidious habit of comfort addiction, it's time to activate your inherent potential. Here's your 3-step blueprint. 1. Pinpoint one discomfort. Choose one meaningful area where you've been too comfortable. Maybe it's speaking up in meetings, asking for a raise, running your first 5K, or starting that passion project you filed away. 2. Define micro goals. Break the challenge into tiny, measurable tasks. If public speaking terrifies you, film yourself for 90 seconds talking about any topic. If you've never run, begin with a 1-minute jog around the block. If you want to write a book, set a 200-word daily goal. 3. Celebrate every win. Every step outside your comfort zone rewires your brain. Each win, no matter how small, is evidence that you can tolerate discomfort and thrive. Log these victories in a journal or share them with an accountability partner. John Maxwell emphasizes the power of small, smart choices plus consistency plus time that equals significant results. By deliberately choosing daily discomfort, you cultivate resilience, sharpen creativity, and forge the habit of growth. As we draw to a close, remember, comfort is not evil. It's essential for recovery and rest. But when it transforms into a reflexive habit, an addiction, it becomes your most dangerous adversary. The very thing you trust to protect you turns into a barrier that blocks your path to fulfillment. You've seen the reeds in the river. Now choose your destiny. Will you remain rooted in safety, swaying gently with the current? Or will you carve your course like the river, bold, persistent, and unafraid of the rapids ahead? Your call to action. 1. Write down 3 comfort traps. Be brutally honest about where you've been too content. Schedule your first micro step. Put it on your calendar for today or tomorrow. Don't delay. 3. Share your commitment. Tell a friend, post in a community, or leave a comment below. Accountability transforms aspirations into reality. And finally, the answer to our riddle. The most dangerous habit isn't procrastination, worry, or indecision. It's the addiction to comfort. It wreaks havoc silently, convincing you that it's fine as is. But Fine, i.e., extraordinary, or worlds apart. Let your hunger for growth outweigh your craving for ease. Embrace discomfort as your ally. Watch your life transform as you continually choose challenge over complacency. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Now go, step into discomfort, and let your river of purpose flow unabated toward the ocean of your highest potential.